What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Football Show. My name is Smitty. We're taking your phone calls. We're digging into your super chats. We're taking your voicemails. We're doing everything week 13. We're talking waivers. We're talking trades, if you can still trade in your league. Lineup dilemmas. A little bit of crystal ball action. Maybe you just want to hear me tell you your team's going to make it to the finals. Whatever the case may be, I'm here for you. I work for you. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern.
What is going on, good people? Hit me with your incoming questions. Your phone call segment is about to unfold before your very eyes. Voicemails will be underway. This is everything you would hope for and dream for on a Tuesday, midnight Eastern. Your fantasy football goodness right here in front of your face. This is a voicemail from Jim.
Hey, Smitty, do you think Mike White is going to be good enough to support two wide receivers in this new Jets offense? It's clear that Garrett Wilson is the number one there, but should we be picking up Elijah Moore, and do you think he has some value moving forward?
This question was asked earlier on the show, the earlier show, but I wanted to address all these voicemails again. And the question is, can Mike White support two wide receivers? I believe he can, better so than anybody else that's been commanding this Jets football team. I mean, we saw Garrett Wilson do well. We saw Elijah Moore do well. We've seen Mike White throw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. We've seen him throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. The 2 games that he's been healthy and starting. So there's hope for it. We can't guarantee that we're going to get 2 fantasy relevant, like starting every week type wide receivers out of this duo of Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore, but certainly there's a possibility of it. DJ Meat Missile first in the building. Lion's Den, Peanut Butter, Drew, Ron Navy in the house, and Pokemon. Appreciate you guys coming in. File on in. Hit that thumb up button on your way in the door. I don't know if we're going to get notifications sent out. We might just have people wandering in slowly. It seems that they're not sending out notifications on every live right now on YouTube. I don't know why. I don't know if they're throttling that back or whatnot. This one's from Jim.
Hey, Smitty, can you talk about your thoughts on Lamar Jackson and if you think he can get his kind of fantasy value resurrected? I know he's kind of had some injuries this year with the running backs, and Bateman got hurt, so he doesn't really have any wide receivers. Are you worried at all about Lamar Jackson, or do you think he's still going to be okay the rest of the year?
I mean, he's a top 5 quarterback. Can he play like a bottom 5 to 10? Yes. Will he play like a top 1 to 5? Sometimes, yeah. Are there 4 or 5 other quarterbacks I'd rather have than Lamar? Yes, probably. Are there 8 quarterbacks I'd rather have than Lamar? No. If you own Lamar Jackson and you don't have Josh Allen, you don't have Jalen Hurts, you don't have quarterbacks like that, then he's your starter. You're not contemplating anybody else on your bench that you picked up over the last couple weeks. You're not thinking about putting Watson in there. It is Lamar Jackson. You drafted him high. Don't question him. Put him out there. The moment you change lanes, like on the freeway, the lane you were in is going to start going faster, and the lane you get in is going to start slowing down. You can't. Do I feel like would I have drafted Lamar? No, because of this up and down that we're seeing him do year after year now. I think everybody's probably willing to accept it by now. I got a lot of hate for saying Lamar was going to vanish from time to time. That's the way he is. And unfortunately, if you drafted him, you got to roll with it, because you don't know when he's going to bounce back, come roaring back, and he's going to be on your bench. Can't do it.
In a full PPR, would you rather have A.J. Brown or Jalen Waddle rest of season?
Jalen Waddle, he's more consistent. He's scoring higher. He's scoring more. There's just no debate, really, at that point.
What's going on, Smitty? My tight ends at the beginning of the season, they were Waller and Ertz, but both of them got injured on IR. So the 3 tight ends I've been shuffling through is Everett, Moreau, and Juwan Johnson. I've been having Everett starting, but he's been dealing with injuries. So just going forward, who do you think would be more consistent, or do you think just shuffling through them would be the best idea?
Matchup. You're going to have to go matchups, man. You're going to have to go matchups. You're going to have to go injury reports. You're going to have to use that every single week. There's no tight end in the tight ends you listed that feel concrete, locked in, always start them. I mean, Everett has a situation, but like you said, injuries, whatever. Moreau can do very well at times and then not do anything. It depends on Derek Carr. They're all very similar. They're all the same.
What's going on, Smitty? You just answered my question on the tight end. It's a 12-team PPR dynasty. The 4 available, the top 4 is Logan Thomas, Robert Tonyan, Hunter Henry, and then Conklin with the Jets. So it's not really much good options.
Yeah, not any improvement for you, Jim.
Hey, Smitty, which wide receiver would you rather hold on your bench and stash for the rest of the season? Would it be Drake London or Elijah Moore?
Oh man, probably Elijah Moore. I like the quarterback situation obviously much better, and I don't trust London to get the volume. It's not that I don't like London. I like London, but I don't trust London's situation.
Hey, Smitty, I know you talked about this a little earlier on the Waiver Wire show, but I wonder if you could give us your best guess out of the San Francisco backfield and the Pittsburgh backfield. Would you rather pick up Jordan Mason or Ty Davis Price, or would you rather pick up Benny Snell or Jaylen Warren? I'm not looking for a replacement or a starter for this week, but more of a running back that I can stash for the long term.
Man, that is tough. I would say, Najee's not out. I mean, he's not like out for the year or anything. Will he play week 13? We don't really know. That news, is trickling in as we speak, probably. And by the way, Damian Harris is out for maybe multiple weeks, so that's great for Stevenson. I'm looking right now at some new news and trying to catch up on anything that might have happened in the last 10 minutes. I'm looking everywhere while I'm on this live stream, while I'm taking phone calls, while I'm answering emails, while I'm screening phone calls potentially here in a minute. Your boy Smitty multitasks like the best and the best in the world. Tevin Coleman is also a threat, which we didn't mention, but Tevin Coleman, Mason, TDP, Ty Davis Price, and then this Pittsburgh situation. We don't know if it's McFarland or Jaylen Warren or Benny Snell. There's no answers, period. These are not good situations. If I had to pick one player, because we don't think that Najee's out for an extended period of time, so what good's that backfield? It doesn't even. It's got a horrible production, stat line anyway, coming out of whoever's starting there. Very underwhelming, right? So if Jaylen Warren gets in and he's splitting time, who says he's going to do anything? Give me Jordan Mason on the chance that he does replace Mitchell in terms of being the full-time the full-time halftime guy. If they start running a rotation, a platoon at that sharing role to share with Christian McCaffrey, and it's like a 4-headed monster, 3-headed monster, then who knows what's going to happen. But if Mason takes over 100% of half the backfield in San Francisco, at least you have something. So I'd probably say Mason, but do I feel like with confidence there's anything solid here at all? Probably not.
Hey, Smitty, I know you talked about this a little earlier.
Okay, I think I handled voicemail group number 1. This is from my IG exclusive subscriber group, and if you want to become an individual that can leave voicemails on the daily and have your voicemail played just like I'm playing right now on the daily, go to my Instagram, thefantasyfootballshow.com. Click the subscribers or subscription button on my profile. So go to The Fantasy Football Show on Instagram, click on subscribers or the subscription. Let me see what it exactly says, because I keep it says let's see here. It says if you go to my profile, let me get in there real quickly. On my profile, it shows subscribe. Okay, so you'll see the word subscribe, and once you click the subscribe button, it will take you to a $4.99 package, and that package will allow you to send messages on the daily. And this is one from Carl.
Should I trade away George Pickens for Keenan Allen?
Yeah, as much as I love Pickens for the long term and just love his skill set, love how talented he is, his future is bright. You got our bank on Keenan Allen having maybe high-end wide receiver 2 value. Like, he could dance with wide receiver 1s at times, but until we see it, we can't ever expect that. But we can say he's got potential for wide receiver 2 upside. Nearly 100 of you in here, only 25 thumbs up. Plus, punch that thumb up button for me. Tyler.
Really good tight ends in David Njoku. Two really good tight ends in David Njoku and Pat Freiermuth. And like, do I play them based off matchup? I know Deshaun Watson's coming back, so I'm kind of hesitant about Njoku. But yeah, help me out. Njoku or Freiermuth rest of season?
Njoku or Freiermuth. I'm probably gonna go. I'd probably go Njoku. I guess they're very, very close. Very, very close. Tyler.
Rachaad White and A.J. Dillon. Hey, Smitty, my running backs are Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, Rachaad White, and A.J. Dillon. Would you be starting Rachaad White until Alvin Kamara gets some nice matchups during playoffs? I know he's got a couple good ones. Thank you, man.
Let me hit that one more time.
Hey, Smitty, my running backs are Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, Rachaad White, and A.J. Dillon. Would you be starting Rachaad White until Alvin Kamara gets some nice matchups?
Yeah, so this one we heard earlier, and I wanted to address it again just to hit all the voicemails on one show. I think the chat would probably say go Rachaad White unless we hear something about Fournette potentially getting some sort of bump in carries. Like if we feel like Fournette's coming back, and we don't even have word that Fournette would be back this week, but if he comes back, then you have a dilemma where it's like, okay, well, what happened to Tony Pollard? Looks like it's Tony Pollard season. Smells like it's Tony Pollard season. The scoring is like it's Tony Pollard season. It's raining Tony Pollard's touchdowns, and then all of a sudden Zeke Elliott comes back, and it's like takes a big dump right on the Tony Pollard parade. Could that happen with Leonard Fournette? It could. So unless we hear that that's heading in that direction, or we feel it is, I'm going Rachaad White over Kamara. But at the same time, I really feel like it is tough. That's really, really tough to make a decision this early on, like in the week. So let's wait and see how we feel about Rachaad White versus Leonard Fournette, or if Leonard Fournette's even going to be a factor this week. And then how we're feeling about Kamara, what's going on with the quarterback situation. Who knows if they switch over to even Taysom Hill at some point. We don't know. So hang tight on that one. Appreciate you all filing on in here. I got to all these voice messages. I think I got voicemail group number. Let's see here. This is the IG exclusive group. I got Carl. I got Tyler. I got Tyler again. Ryan, did I get Ryan's?
So I don't know if this is what you're wanting, Smitty, but anyway, Justin Herbert, CMC, Etienne, ASP, Lockett, Debo.
Yeah, I answered that one earlier, Ryan, on the other show. Definitely tighten it up. A little too much information there, but I did answer it. I appreciate you for dropping that question. Let me see if I got any from voicemail group number 1 or 2. Voicemail group number 2. This is B-Man.
Do you think Jordan Mason's going to be the guy, or is it going to be tied to his price?
Yeah, I already addressed that just a second ago. Generally speaking, it's probably going to be the guy we saw get a bulk of the carries once Mitchell went down. But at the same time, Shanahan's weird about this. He could bring up Tevin Coleman into the mix and then give Tevin Coleman 50% of that halftime work, and then give Mason some of it, or roll with the hot hand. Put in Coleman, put in Mason, put in TDP, and then all of a sudden decide which one he wants to roll with. So tough to know. It's very, very cloudy. Michael.
Hey, Smitty, do you see Patrick Mahomes finishing out the regular season, or do you think the last week or so they're going to sit him?
Answered this one on the other stream, and I don't think we can know the answer to anything relating to like week 16, week 17. We got to see how it. You can't plan on a player like that being sitting out. A lot of times you think what's going to happen with those situations, and then you're like, oh, they're going to probably sit their starters, and then they go, we're not sitting our starters. And they don't. You think it's a scenario where you would have been able to predict that they would have sat their starters. You can't think like that. That's too far. I wouldn't be making decisions based off assuming some of that stuff. B-Man here.
Thoughts on Christian Watson if Jordan Love is under center?
Is he a receiver 3, receiver 2?
So tough to say. I would say receiver 3. Don't count on wide receiver 2 action just yet out of Deshaun Watson. But we do know already that Aaron Rodgers is going to play. But this is a good question to ask and replay, because if Aaron Rodgers goes out there and comes out of the game, we still need to think about this ahead of time. What happens if Aaron Rodgers can't finish the season? There's a real high likelihood that he gets injured at some point this year, because these injuries are piling up. He's an older player. And when you have multiple injuries and you go into a game, you start getting hit, there's a decent chance you're going to get one of these hits is going to take you out for a few games and make something that's kind of hurting a whole lot worse. So the odds of Aaron Rodgers playing out the rest of the season upright, if he's getting hit left and right, is very hard to imagine for me. So the question is, could Watson survive with Love? I believe he can. I don't know. I believe, but I don't think he's a number 2. I think he's probably a number 3, a wide receiver 3. Michael.
Hey Smitty, I got ETN. Should I drop Dillon and grab Hasty just in case ETN gets injured later on or anything?
Probably, but dropping Dillon is something I don't like doing. I'd like to trade him, especially with his volume potentially getting an uptick in the next couple weeks here, as they kind of, I think, shift over to using the running backs more, and they look like they're doing that.
Question for you. You might have to get the whiteboard out, but maybe not. Yeah, I have a question for you.
I have a question for you.
You might have to
I'm
get
Batman.
the whiteboard out, but maybe not.
I
have Jonathan Taylor.
I'm Batman.
I have Jonathan Taylor, CMC, ETN, Foreman, and Rashad White. And I also have Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, and Mike Evans. I was thinking about trading CMC and Mike Evans for Jefferson because this injury is making me nervous.
CMC and Mike Evans for Jefferson. I'm Batman. Let's listen to the beginning of that again.
And I have a question for you.
Hey Smitty,
I have a question for you. I'm Batman. CMC and Mike Evans for JJ. I think we broke this down on the other show too, but I'd probably say if you've got the depth for it, I mean, I'm okay with it. It is a lot to give up. I think the chat said get JJ, and I think I wavered on it. I'm okay with it either way. I think Mike Evans bounces back a little bit. I think Christian McCaffrey's arguably as good as JJ. Arguably. Not. I'd rather have JJ, but it's arguably equal, So you're getting Mike Evans. So I would say if you were acquiring because you needed 2 pieces, that would be a great trade to get Mike Evans and CMC for JJ. If you've got a surplus of talent that you can't put in your lineup, and it sounds like you did, but you're going to have to make that call for yourself based on your starting lineup and everything, then getting rid of 2 players like that for JJ, it works as well. So I would say if you've got the surplus, go get JJ. If you don't have the surplus, then it's going to be tough to fill those lineup spots, and only you know that based on your team. Then so that was my advice, based on everything around your lineup and your team. Blackbeard.
What up, Smitty? Should I start Stevenson over
Whoa.
What up, Smitty? Should I start Stevenson over Dalvin Cook this week? Are the running backs Walker? Appreciate you.
Stevenson over Dalvin Cook. What's the chat think on that? Stevenson over Dalvin Cook. Stevenson is a nice start this week, because you've got Damian Harris out for probably multiple weeks now. So that's a nice play in terms of the amount of carries he's going to get. Dalvin Cook he's at home against the Jets D. That's a tough one. And the only problem is, and I'm not scared of Buffalo necessarily, because they could be scored on. They could be, they're a good D, but they're vulnerable. The only problem is this is a Thursday night game. However, low scoring game means lots of running. All the work probably headed toward Ramondre Stevenson, funneled right into him. I feel like while Cook is potentially capable of being big, I will put Stevenson in the lineup, and the chat seems to be looking like it's trending in the direction of Stevenson as well. I don't even know that I see one Dalvin Cook vote. Yeah, Stevenson, he's such a monster. He's a hard runner. He's aggressive. He's got a nose for the end zone. He's tough to bring down. He's tough. Belichick loves him. And so I think it's probably time to put, in this situation, Cook on the bench and put Stevenson in and let him ride. Now, if Damian Harris were back, I think we'd worry about it, right? But I think in this case, it's an easy call. You know, something you need to contemplate. You need to break it down. But at the end of the day, that's a really good move. Thank you for all the voice messages that you guys left. Let me get to the super chats, then we'll open up the phone lines. Super chats so far. First one is from Heating. Heating, I appreciate you dropping the super chat. Let's see here. Who wins this Henry, Olave for Cook and St. Brown? Henry and Olave for Cook and St. Brown. I would take Henry and Olave over Cook and St. Brown. I love St. Brown, but Olave is good enough and close enough to St. Brown. He's just that talented. If his situation were better, he'd be equal. I would take Henry and Olave if it were me. And I appreciate your super chat. The OJ dropping a $5 holler. The OJ says, trade Adams for Walker and Sutton. Half PPR. I have Adams, Lazard, White, Swift, and Patterson starting currently with Mike Williams on the bench 8-4 somehow. Trade Adams for Walker and Sutton. Half PPR. Adams, Lazard, White, Swift, and Patterson starting. Man, that's rough because, like, if you get rid of Adams, what are your wide receivers, you know? And if you get rid of, like, Lazard, like, really? That's what we're dealing with? If you get rid of, and if you don't go get Walker, you got Patterson and Swift as your starting running. You're better off with Adams. However, maybe you got to trade Adams into two different players, not do this one for one stuff. Because I don't know that team's going to win. If these are your big guns, bro, Swift, Patterson, and Adams, and that's it, you might have to turn Adams into a St. Brown type of player with an ETN type of player that's doubted. You know what I'm saying, big dog? Because I don't think that team's going to potentially do it. We got Robert. You got something with the camera, Robert. Something with the camera going on. Robert dropping a $20 holler. Robert, thank you. I don't know what's going on with that flickering. Hollywood is on a bye. And I need wide odd waivers. Choices are Elijah Moore, Mac Hollins, DeAndre Carter, Van Jefferson, Richie James. What order? Also, tight end problem: Hunter Henry and Evan Ingram. I guess I kind of need to know what tight ends are available to solve the tight end problem. But if you're asking me to choose between those two, I don't know. I guess Hunter Henry. I'd probably go with Hunter Henry. That would be the option I would roll with, I guess, of the two. But let me know if there's other tight end options. Elijah Moore, Mac Hollins, DeAndre Carter, Van Jefferson. You know, I kind of like Mac Hollins a little bit. I like Elijah Moore as well with Mike White in town. I guess I go Elijah Moore. I feel like Elijah Moore is back under the command of Mike White. But Mac Hollins is pretty decent too. They're about the same for me. I think Elijah Moore has a touch more upside, so I'd probably roll with Elijah Moore. Second in command would be Mac Hollins, and then I guess third I'd probably say, what did Van Jefferson do last week? Let's pull this up. Van Jefferson. I don't know what Van Jefferson's been doing lately, to be honest, off the top of my head. Probably nothing. That's probably why I don't recall what Van Jefferson's been dropping. But maybe he surprised me. Maybe he did something. Maybe he did. He did. He had a touchdown. 29 yards and a touchdown. 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks isn't bad, but I don't know. The volume's just not there. DeAndre Carter. I'd probably say, I mean, he's had a little bit more of an impressive go lately. I'd probably say 73 yards and a touchdown, 7 receptions. I'd probably go DeAndre Carter. For the time being, I suppose. But that would be my third choice. He would be my third in line. So thank you, Robert, for the super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. This one's from James. James, thank you for the super chat, $5 hauler. 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes, Eckler, Walker, and Adams. I have Lamb, JT, and St. Brown. Don't like JT versus Dallas. Sit JT. 1 running back, 2 wide receivers, 2 flex. Eckler, Walker. So Eckler and Walker. Adams is a lock. So running back, 1 running back, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. So that means you have 1 wide receiver and 1 flex left. Okay, so lock. You have Lamb. So Lamb's a lock. And so does it come down to JT or St. Brown is basically what you're saying. I guess I would go St. Brown over JT this week. You have some good dilemmas. You'd rarely ever hear me say bench JT because I love JT, but I suppose that is the better scenario, is to roll with St. Brown. Dallas is tough, especially at home. St. Brown feels like he's going to have a nice day at home against the Jaguars. Yeah, I'll probably roll with St. Brown. That's a tough one, but that's what I'm gonna say. That's crazy. I can't believe I just said bench JT. That's a tough one. OGE, you dropped a super chat without anything attached, but I'll go look for it. Appreciate you dropping that. Okay, OGE. Let me see if I can find OGE. Okay, here's OGE's question. Appreciate you, OGE. And thank you, James, for your super chat. Stacked, and I'm going to have a hard time with decisions in the playoffs. Team is Dak, CMC, ETN, Dameon Pierce, Pollard, Rachaad White, Aaron Jones at running back, Chase, Godwin, CD, Christian Watson at wide receiver. Who do I start? Okay. I'd probably say team is Dak, CMC. Okay, so I don't know the exact lineup here. I don't think you told me, so I'm going to tell you. CMC and ETN are your top 2 running backs far and away. And everything we know about ETN is he's fine. So no need to ask me, is ETN, should I start ETN? Am I worried about ETN? We'll find out. If there's any worry, we'll find out. As of right now, there's no worry. So assume he's fine. Wide receiver, you're going with Jamar Chase and CeeDee Lamb. And then, man, at wide receiver, at wide receiver 3, if you start 3 wide receivers, is probably Godwin, but I hate putting Christian Watson on the bench. And if you can't trade anymore, then you're stuck, like you said, making tough decisions. But your flex is probably going to be that wide receiver. No, Pollard, White. If you start 2 wide receivers, for me, it's Lamb and Jamar Chase. And if you start 2 running backs, it's CMC and ETN. If you have 1 flex on top of that, it's probably going to be Rachaad White, unless we hear that Leonard Fournette's back or going to command some work. Then you look at Pollard, and if we feel, we could roll with Godwin over Pollard if we wanted to. But if you start 2 running backs, CMC and ETN, and 3 wide receivers, Chase, Godwin, and CD, and you still start 1 flex, then I would go with White. But on a weekly basis, it's week to week, man. It's week to week. Probably have to look at matchups. But that's gonna be a tough one from week to week, bro. And Tampa Bay's Monday night against the Saints. That'll be a good day for Rachaad White. I think he's gonna be in the spotlight. The only problem is we don't know much about Fournette until then. And looking up the Fournette news right now, let me pull up Fournette. Leonard Fournette out for week 12. That's the latest thing we have. We don't have any update on Lenny. And that'll suck if we don't have any real indication walking into the Monday night game, because then you got to make your calls before then. All right, phone calls.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial into the show, people. Dial into the show. Let's go. Okay. Let me see. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show.
Hey, you think my team is good enough to win the championship? I got Tua at quarterback, Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, Chris Godwin, DeAndre Hopkins.
Here, read that one more time. Read that one more time. Read that one more time.
Brandon Ayuk.
Read that one more time.
Got Tua at quarterback, Joe Mixon, Jonathan Taylor, James Conner, Chris Godwin, Josh Palmer, DeAndre Hopkins, Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good team. It's a good team. I like it.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I mean, you got a specific question about it? I mean, I like it, but I'd love to know what it is are you worried about something or?
Yeah, no, trade deadline's coming up tomorrow, so I was just trying to see if I could upgrade it any type of way.
Yeah, so read your receivers one more time. Chris Godwin,
DeAndre Hopkins, Josh Palmer.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
I wouldn't mind using Godwin's increased value and try and get into like I don't know what you could do here. I'm worried a little bit about Hopkins with Hollywood. And your running backs one more time.
James Conner, Jonathan Taylor,
JT,
and Joe Mixon.
That's right. Conner and Hopkins, I wonder if you could turn that into one player. Mixon and Hopkins, I wonder if you could turn into one player. I mean, you'd have to reach pretty high, But I wouldn't mind beefing up one of those spots. And then who's your best bench player?
Probably Josh Palmer or Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, I mean, see, I don't mind getting one of those guys into the lineup if you could turn like Conner and Hopkins into a Chubb or even something bigger like Kenny Walker seems pretty reasonable right now despite 2 TDs. I think that's not a bad move.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see what I can do before tomorrow.
All right, bro. Appreciate you. Rock out. What's up?
All right. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
What's up? Yeah, might sound crazy, but would you bench Swift or Kamara for either Brian Robinson or Pacheco?
Swift for who?
Swift for Pacheco or Brian Robinson?
I probably Swift for Pacheco, Brian Robinson. I'd probably go Pacheco at this point, given the volume, given how good he's been playing. So I'll probably go Pacheco, but Swift is intriguing, and at some point he's gonna, I think, have a big game. At some point I think he has one of those bounce back games, and it's gonna be on everybody's bench. Everybody's gonna be so upset. It's gonna make him an even bigger bust to everybody because no one even got to enjoy his explosion. There's gonna be a 150-yard 2 TD game at some point probably. let's see here. Would you trade JJ for Higgins and Chris Olave? No. I would rather have JJ, Jaime. I'd rather have JJ, my guy. Higgins is going to probably lose a little volume, too, to Ja'Marr Chase being back. What else you got, Rock Out?
Yeah, who would you rather have as a backup, Mike White or Derek Carr?
Probably Mike White at this point. I mean, he's been balling out, man.
Yeah, and can I give you my team real quick? We got like a trade deadline in like 12 hours.
Yeah, hit me with it.
Kirk Cousins, Brian Robinson, Kamara, A.J. Brown, Chris Olave, Schultz, Swift, Zay Jones, Pacheco, Kyron Williams, Legal Collins, Derek Carr, and Herbert on IR.
Okay. I mean, I like it. It definitely needs something to happen in a couple different places, you know. I feel like either B-Rob needs to continue to ball out, Swift needs to bounce back, maybe even both of those, or Cousins needs to have a really strong finish, and either Swift or B-Rob needs to ball out. I like A.J. Brown. I like Olave. I love Schultz. I think Kamara is probably a little underrated, even though he's been disappointing. I still feel like people are acting like he's benchable in all scenarios, and I disagree with that. I believe he's been a huge disappointment. There's a lot of reasons to avoid him this year at a high draft value. He was okay in like the third round, but people, started drafting him extremely high once the buzz kicked back into gear, when people thought he wouldn't be suspended, which he wasn't, or he hasn't been so far, and he probably won't be. But, there's a lot of, like we talked about in the offseason, there's a lot of mental hurdles that he's going to have to overcome with all that stress and pressure and offseason, situation going on. So, like, I definitely have not been one that, I was not one that wanted people to draft Kamara, but I think we've hit a point where everybody is now running away from him. And I think that there's still value here. He's still a potential running back one. Like, everyone's wanting to put him on the bench for crazy names, for mediocre running back twos. Like, I still think he's got running back one value. He's just going to be potentially spotty and consistent. The offense is kind of shaky. But if he pulls his weight, if B-Rob pulls his weight, you get something else to happen, you'll be okay. As far as trades, I don't know what you could sell high, man. B-Rob selling B-Rob high right now is a potential situation. Pacheco could be sold potentially high. I wonder if you could sell B-Rob and like A.J. Brown for like one big player. That would be something I'd look at. I'd like you to get a better quarterback if possible, but that's all gonna be hard. This team could win it if all went well, but it would take a lot.
Yeah. Right now I'm like at the fourth position, I think.
Yeah. But Kamara needs the ball. B-Rob needs the ball. They could though, bro. Everything could come together for you.
Yeah, it's probably going to be tough to move people.
Yeah. All right, bro. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Yep.
Later.
Yep.
Next caller, you're on the phone. Rock Out, call back if you have another question. I'm sorry I didn't make you feel better about your team, Rock Out, but let me know what you're thinking, and if you got a trade offer, I can help you out with it. I've got Spiffy on hold. Spiffy, hang tight for me, and I got another caller on hold. That other caller, what can I help you with?
Gotcha, Smitty.
What can I help you with? I can barely hear you, bro. We can't hear you at all. We can't hear you at all, bro. I hear like a little mumble. A little blah, 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 blah.
Is it better now?
Yeah, yeah, it's better.
Awesome, dude. So, yeah, I just made a trade I'm really happy about. It was Garrett Wilson and Monty for A.J. Brown. Just wanted to – I talked to you the other day about, like, making a move, and I was able to do that. So, really happy about that one. But I wanted to see, man, I have Mark Andrews, and now I have A.J. Brown as well. Would you do Mark Andrews and A.J. Brown for either Schultz and Justin Jefferson or Freiermuth and Diggs?
Say that one more time.
A.J. Brown and Mark Andrews, I would be trading them. Would you do that for either Schultz and J.J. or for Freiermuth and Diggs? Like, would you do that for either of those trades? Or just keep A.J. Brown and Mark Andrews?
I would take Schultz and J.J.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everybody would. Like, Schultz is playing really well. Like, one could argue Schultz over Andrews. You know, if you wanted to. And you're getting JJ. Yeah. It's really good. That's a really good trade. I mean, essentially you're taking Andrews, Garrett Wilson, and Monty and turning it into JJ and Schultz. That's really good.
Yeah. Yeah. My team right now, I don't know. I just want to ask you, see if, because tomorrow's the trade deadline. I have Kenneth Walker, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Hopkins, A.J. Brown, Mark Andrews, and DK Metcalf. I have Deshaun Watson at QB and Fields as QBs. And then on the bench, I have Rachaad White, Peoples-Jones, Kadarius Toney.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know if there's any other news. Maybe Keith Andrews in the trades, but
no, go make that trade, bro. Go make that trade. That JJ trade.
Schultz.
Yeah, go get the Schultz JJ.
Schultz
There's no other move to make other than that. If you can get that done, that's fire, bro. Everyone would love that trade. Everybody would love that.
Cool.
Yeah, and then come back and then hey, Jeremy, look, Jeremy and whoever's in there, you guys are this little chitter chatter you got going on in the chat. It's funny at first, but like let's stop distracting and bogging down the chat with all the little things you're saying in the chat. Let's get to the serious stuff, all right? I appreciate you both, but let's stop. Tony says, Smitty, I'm getting lots of offers for Josh Jacobs in my Dynasty League. What price would you set for 2023 picks? Top 6. 2023 picks. It would be hard for me to trade Josh Jacobs for anything but a nice shot at the 1.1. Like, if I could get a nice shot at the 1.1, I would take it. I'm sorry, the caller that's still on hold, did you have anything else?
I don't think so, man. I just, like, if he doesn't accept it, would you throw in, like, Rachaad White? Or
No.
is that too
No.
much?
Yeah, no. The whole appeal is the offer you just showed me. I'm like, yeah, smash it. Like, you throw in a Rachaad White in it, that doesn't make as much sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
And last question. At the flex, would you start Peoples-Jones or Rachaad White just this week?
Rachaad White, by far. Yeah.
Okay. Even with Lenny fully healthy?
Well, I don't know if Lenny's fully healthy. We'll have to see.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to play it by ear. A lot of this stuff is news dependent. We just got to readdress it once more news breaks. So we can't make too many assumptions right now.
Cool, man. Hey, I just wanted to say I have one player left on my team that I drafted, and that's Mark Andrews. The rest of my team has been trades that you kind of helped me with.
Nice,
so
man.
I really appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Keep up the good work. Fill us in. Let us know how it works out. Okay. Thanks. Appreciate you. Spiffy, hang tight real quick. I'm going to answer this from Tony here. So, Dynasty, I don't know that I'm trading them for. If you're getting lots of offers, I might try and get some kind of pick and player or just go after some player I really like. I don't know that I'm going to be going for like a number 5 rookie pick or, something I don't feel is extremely high pick. Like Jacobs, number 1, Jacobs is playing for money. Jacobs might land in a new situation next year that could be better. It could be worse, but But I do like the idea of selling high in Dynasty. I really do. But I think he's got a lot of value right now. And I don't know if I'd be selling for like 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th overall rookie pick value. I just think I want something different. I feel like you could go after Breece Hall in some kind of like buy low trade. I feel like you could maybe go after, a wide receiver, go across position and get some wide receiver that you really, really like. They could give you, an amazing value at a cross position trade for sure. So that's what I would be looking to do if I was you. I don't think I'd be trading it for anything but a top. I'd say top 3 pick. I'm okay with. That's what I'm gonna say. Top 3 pick. Let's see here. All right, Spiffy, what can I do for you?
Hey, am I on? Can
Yes, you're on, bro.
Awesome. Yeah, so Smitty, I sent you a message, and I think you said my top waiver pick would be Mike White. Now, the only question I have is who should I drop for him? Since I had to activate Hollywood Brown, I had to drop someone, so I dropped Chuba Hubbard. So that leaves with, I guess, my bench guys at this moment is Kirk Cousins. I would just include the quarterbacks. Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Warren, Palmer, and Kenneth Gainwell.
Kirk Cousins, Aaron Rodgers, Kenneth Gainwell, and who else?
Joshua Palmer, Jalen Warren, Deion Jackson.
Yeah, probably Deion. Drop Deion. Gainwell.
And if I want to do another waiver claim, is there another guy
Gainwell
that's droppable as well?
Gainwell, but depends on who you're picking up. But yeah, Gainwell could be dropped.
Gotcha. Yeah, I thought that too. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna do the waiver wire for Mike White. He looks promising, so I'll do that. What I was gonna say. In regards to how my team is looking on the outlook, I don't know if maybe you want to put this down there, but I think you have an idea of how my team looks, right?
Yep, I do. I remember.
Yeah. So going forward, is there anything I can make to make it seem a little, better for playoffs? Because my trade deadline isn't until next week on Wednesday.
Hit me with it one more time. Let's break down your team.
Yeah, so far my quarterbacks is Rodgers, Cousins. Pending, I might get Mike White tomorrow on the waivers.
Okay.
So running backs are Swift, Cordell, Pollard, Pacheco, Jalen Warren, Deion Jackson, and Gainwell. Well, I guess not include Deion Jackson or Gainwell, one of those guys. But all right, receivers, I have Deontay Johnson, Tyler Lockett, Hollywood, and Joshua Palmer. And then for tight end, I have Kelsey. And then Ravens defense and Tyler Bass.
Honestly, man, I don't know that you're going to get... target would be like Mike Evans. I think he would be a fantastic go-get player for you. Maybe a Pierce if you wanted to bank on Pierce bouncing back. Targets, players to use to get Mike Evans. Lockett, I'd try and use Lockett. I'd try and use Lockett in something, not that's completely significant to your starting lineup production. Maybe somebody needs a quarterback. You what?
One of my running backs, I think I have 8 of them.
Yeah, just look at that. Pierce would be a target at running back just because you need something, and you can't really go buying expensive things. You got to go hoping that somebody turns it around. But Mike Evans is a really cheap player to go get.
I had offered actually right before the call. I offered to the Pierce owner. I offered him Cordell for Pierce, and he said he declined it.
Yeah. I like your team a lot better than it was, bro. You've done some good moves with it. I think we've helped fix it a little bit. I think C. Patterson, Swift, and Pollard and Pacheco you at least got. And you could start all 4 of those guys. Is that right?
No, I can only start 3. So, for example, this week I have these guys slotted to start. I have Pollard, Cordell, and Pollard.
Cordero. It's Cordero, by the way. Cordero, but that's right.
Cordero.
Cordero.
I hope I'm saying Cordell. Cordero.
Cordero. Call him Can you say Cordaly?
Cordaly.
Cordaly. Say Cordaly at least. If you stop calling him Cordell. Yeah, Cordaly. That's fine.
I got Cordaly playing Swift and Pollard.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking about shipping one of those running backs off because
I mean, try Lockett, C. Patterson and Lockett, or Pacheco and Lockett, and try and go get a Lamb or somebody right around that area. You know, or trade Cordero. Try one more time, Cordero.
No, damn it. Cordero. Damn it. Cordero. Fuck, bro.
Cordero. It's better.
I think it's because since I'm doing braces, I have like a
mouthful of metal
stuck into the roof of my mouth.
A mouthful of metal.
Yes, so it's kind of hard to pronunciate.
That's right.
Sounds.
Say the word Daryl. Cordero. Boom.
Cordero.
There you
go. No, you put the cord.
You could always pause. You could go. You could go Cordero. Cordero. Cordero.
I think I did it right.
You got it, bro. Cordaly, you do just fine though. So just use Cordaly. We'll be good. Okay, so
you're saying like Lockett / CPAT or Pacheco for like a guy like Lamb?
Yeah, Lamb. I really like Mike Evans. Like maybe you could trade Lockett for Mike Evans straight up. I mean, people are down on Mike Evans.
I may be able to have some luck with that because that's the last guy I traded with Kyle Pitts to. So hopefully I can swindle him again.
Yeah. All right, broski.
All right, Smitty. Appreciate it.
Later. He's always a good sport. Good old Spiffy. He's always a good sport. That was the guy with the Kyle Pitts and Kelsey. He finally divided it up and got a little bit more spread out team. So we're proud of him for making the trade. Henry not out. What you all talking about, says Tevin. I don't know who's saying Henry's out. No one is. Cordaly. Who's saying Henry's? Who spread fake news in the chat? Henry. Who's saying that? I don't see anybody saying Henry. Oh, Keenan says potentially with Henry out. Henry's not out, Keenan. Keenan, what is this? What is this fake news you speak of? What does this mean, Keenan? What you doing in here? You can't do this. You can't spread fake news and cause panic. Okay? So explain yourself, Henry. Or, no, Henry. Who was it? Who said that? Keenan. Explain yourself, Keenan. Explain yourself, son. If he goes down, he's not out, but if he goes down. Okay. Well, I don't know, bro. With Hilliard, running back 1 potential with Henry out. He's not out. You're scaring people, bro. You're scaring people. All right, what else we got? Any super chats we got going on here? This one's from Jaime. Jaime says, would you trade JJ for Higgins and Chris Olave? I already answered that one. I appreciate that, by the way. This one's from Neil. Neil says, is trading my Higgins for D-Hop enough to upgrade and be worth eating the bye week for next week? No, because Higgins is playing better than D-Hop, and I know Jamar Chase is coming back, but so is Hollywood Brown. Hollywood Brown hasn't fully been unleashed yet, so I think some would say that Higgins is worth more. But they're pretty close, so I don't know that I want to just take a bye week hit. So the answer for me is no. I'd rather have Higgins. 9-3, Cousins, JT, Swift, CP, Cordero Patterson, Cordaly, Spiffy. I feel bad for Spiffy because he's got that. I had braces once, and man, it is hard to talk with braces. So Spiffy, my hat goes off to you, bro. That is a tough thing to do is say Cordero with a mouthful of braces, bro. I appreciate you. Spiffy's a good sport. I really like Spiffy. Cordaly, Jets, Godwin, Andrews. Would you trade Swift and Godwin for Kamara and Terry? Would you trade Swift and Godwin for Kamara and Scary Terry? I don't know. Probably. I feel like Swift is a big enough risk that I don't want to. No problem, Keenan. We're just making sure you weren't trolling and you just made an honest mistake, so it's all good, bro. What movie are you watching, by the way? Shouldn't you be paying attention to the movie and your girl and not the show? But I am curious what movie you're streaming there. If not, what other moves? I don't know. I mean, I think it's a pretty decent move, to be honest, like to try and get into something a little more consistent than Swift. But do I like the idea of trading into Swift and Godwin into Walker? You know, Walker straight up. I'd rather have Walker straight up than Swift and Godwin. ETN's interesting right now. People are scared of ETN. That might be a good move. I'd potentially look at that. Rick with the super chat. I think Tony said he had an answer. I think I saw Tony had an answer on this one. Let's look for Tony. Tony, you still there? How about giving Jacobs for Drake London and a top 6 pick? That's so tough because right now we're judging Drake London the way that we shouldn't be judging him. Like, this is not his fault. His situation's garbage. But however, will it improve? Are they gonna just roll with Ritter? You know, or like why aren't they rolling with him now? You know, I think Mariota's like somehow he wins games and they just keep rolling with it. But like Ritter is a better quarterback, and until we see him out there, we won't know what 2023 has in store for London owners. So I'd love to know what the chat thinks on this. Top 6 pick in London, or would you rather have Jacobs? I kind of think Jacobs, like you could roll into next season with Jacobs and not really. You know, you might be able to hold on to him and his hype gets bigger. He could also fall off the face of the earth. He could get hurt, not finish the year, and nobody values him next year. But I have a feeling that he's excited enough people that if he does finish well, and he certainly could finish well, I wonder if you're going to be able to sell him a lot higher, you know, in the offseason with the prospect of him landing on a new team. Maybe he lands in. Maybe people think he's going to land in a great spot, and you could trade him before he gets traded, or you could wait till he gets traded. Maybe he does go to a better spot. Maybe you want to keep him, but maybe you want to trade him. I don't know. I'm not like super high on him in Dynasty. He's a good sell high. I just don't know. London and a top 6 pick isn't bad. It also depends on how you're building right now. You know, if you're playing the long game, it's not horrible. But can we? I agree that London is tough to love, but I'm convinced he's a real talent. My instinct is to just keep Jacobs pretty much in every league. I think it's not so much that I keep him long term. I think I just wait for the right offer. You know, Tony, like this doesn't feel like it's not making me. It feels like okay, this is the best I'm going to get. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp a yes. Boom, let's do it. It's the best offer we got. We got to make a move. I feel like you'll know, and this isn't a moment where you know. This is kind of like one of those situations where it's like it feels like we're forcing it too early, you know. And there's some people that will make a trade before week 1, and they won't ever wait until you get into week 1. Sometimes not making the trade, getting into the year, or in this case, getting into the off season, allows you more flexibility. So I would wait. This doesn't feel like the deal that you know is the right deal. Like, you have to take it. This is just like the best thing you're seeing. But I can't believe you're not getting better offers than this. You said you're getting a lot of offers. Probably some of them are very bad. Some of them are probably good. Like that one's good. It's not bad. But part of me would want, like, I would want Breece Hall. I would want a shot at the 1.1 because I think Bijan Robinson would be amazing. I would want Andrews and London, or Andrews in a top 6 pick, or Fields, who's injured right now, and maybe this person wants to win. Now you get Fields and a top 6 pick, like something like that. I like London. I don't mind London. I just don't know if London's going to do anything next year because of his situation, not because of him. I agree with you. I think he's a talent, but we have no clue as to how they're going to use him next year. If it's just going to be like, okay, we're going to try Ritter out in week 3 and or we start Ritter. Maybe we'll see Ritter before the end of the year and he goes nuts with London and then you wish you did it, but I don't know. Should I trade Barkley, A.J. Brown for JT and St. Brown? I'd rather have JT and St. Brown, but it's arguable, very, very close. I could get behind either side, to be honest with you. Traded Pollard, Garrett Wilson for Saquon. Running backs are Eckler, JT, Walker, Saquon, White. Wide receivers are Diggs, CD, Cooper, Olave, Mike Williams, full PPR. Trade Olave +1 for Godwin. No, I'd rather have Olave probably over Godwin. So I'm not doing that. I'd rather have Olave. I love Olave. I don't think Godwin outscores Olave going forward. I mean, they could be even or very close, but traded Pollard, Garrett Wilson for Saquon. I like that trade. Running backs are Eckler. Wide receivers, unbelievable. Nice job. Full PPR, trade Olave +1 for Godwin. Okay, so I didn't read the first part of that question, but I love traded Pollard, Garrett Wilson for Saquon. That's a very, very good trade. Pollard, Garrett Wilson for Saquon. Nice job. I just don't like that Olave trade. Nice job, bro. The first one's great. Pacheco, Rachaad White, or Peoples-Jones 2 this week. You mean you need 2 this week? Okay. Pacheco, White, or Peoples-Jones. Go Pacheco and Rachaad White. I like Peoples-Jones. He's pretty safe, but I'd much rather have Pacheco and Rachaad White personally. Guaranteed touches. They feel a little more secure. Give me the 2 RBs. Peoples-Jones is good though. He's not bad. There's nothing wrong with him. Olave hitting a little bit of a wall lately. They just can't get the ball to him. Yeah, he'll bounce back and hopefully, I don't know, hopefully Winston's back in the lineup soon and then the air yards come back because Olave will be one of the top wide receivers in the NFL with the air yards underneath the football, bro. You're live on the Fantasy Football Show. Who am I talking to?
Hey, Smitty, it's Nady.
What's up?
Not much. I do have a question for you though.
Okay.
Basically, I've got a league where I've got 2 flexes, and I've got Kamara, Pierce, Brandon Cooks, Joshua Palmer, Kyron Williams.
Okay.
Obviously, Pierce and Kamara scare the crap out of me, but I know that they've got upside. But yeah, I mean, Palmer's done all right as long as Williams is out. Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, read it off one more time and let's see if we can figure out. Can you trade still or no?
No.
Oh,
trade deadline's over.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, you got a shot. Your running backs were who again?
Well, my starting running backs are Mixon and Walker.
Yeah,
but
that's
good. Then for the 2 flex positions, I could put Kamara, Pierce, Joshua Palmer, Brandon Cooks. Or Kyron Williams.
Yeah. You'll trust in Kamara, don't sit him or anything. You got to trust in him.
Okay.
And you may need to trust in Pierce one more week. I mean, Palmer's may be safer, I suppose, and if you have to start both of them instead of like Kyron, I would start both of them, I suppose. But I think Pierce is a shot at bouncing back. I don't think I count on it. I'm just saying, don't be surprised. Don't write him off.
Yeah, it's a good matchup.
Yeah, don't write him off yet. He's a very, like, you'd have to be a complete imbecile to be in charge of this coaching, be on this coaching staff and not see that he's the best thing that they have. And I think they understand that. I think they just got to figure out ways to call better plays for him too, because he's getting hit behind the line of scrimmage every time.
Yep.
All
right. Well, that's pretty much what I was thinking too, but it's good to hear that I got an ally.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right. Thank you.
You got this, bro. Call back and keep us updated.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Blind Larry says, I'm second year player, 12-team league, 6 go to the playoffs. Do 3 from each division go, or the top 6 overall. Please help me understand. It depends on your league. It depends on your league, Larry. Usually you're interdivision until you get to the Super Bowl, but some people shuffle the divisions up after. It's kind of, but usually it's like you got 3 on each side, right? And then you've got one team, the top team from each side, as a bye. And then you have the 2 teams remaining play. And then the bye week team and then that team play the next week. And then the final 2 that are left go to the Super Bowl. So usually it's the top 3 from each division. But it's up to your commissioner. It's up to your rules. It's not something that's like standard. So you got to talk to your commish. Your commish will hopefully let you know. Wish Smitty would answer him so he'll quit posting. Who keeps posting over and over? Adam, appreciate you, Adam. Start 1. Jamal Williams, Pierce, or Latavius Murray. Jamal Williams, man. He's been playing great. And trade CMC and Andrews for Henry and Amari. I'd probably rather have Christian McCaffrey and Andrews, to be honest with you, but it's very close and arguable. There's all kinds of there's different sides to that coin. I'd rather have CMC and Andrews personally. Even if you had Kittle, it doesn't really change anything for me. In my opinion, I want that CMC side, but I like Henry. He's got a good playoff schedule. I like Henry. I suppose if you feel like Kittle's gonna have a big bounce back year, maybe you do that trade. Like I'll Smitty approve that side for you if you believe in Kittle. I'm indifferent on Kittle, and it's mostly because of Shanahan. Has nothing to do with Kittle. It has to do with whether Shanahan's gonna make him block. That I can't predict, therefore I don't know. And I'm tired of pretending I know what's going to go on with Kittle and Shanahan and Jimmy and Shanahan and everything. And I know CMC's involved in that now, but at least I feel like he's going to, I don't know. I like Andrews a whole heck of a lot. And I think because there's some questions about Henry and there's some questions about McCaffrey that it makes it kind of a wash for me at the running back position. But if you truly believe in Kittle, and you believe that Henry's going to be far superior over CMC, then pull the trigger. There are a lot of people that would want to do that trade, so you wouldn't be alone. Bijan, besides Bijan, what other running back prospects interest you? There are a lot. Gibbs, there's Corum, there's quite a number of running backs that we'll be breaking down, and don't worry, I'm going to have a total insane rookie breakdown situation going on here at the end of December heading into January 1. On January 1, all the rookie stuff's going to drop. Bijan's going to... I've got a ranking video that could drop tomorrow that you guys are going to love that has Bijan Robinson talked about in it. So you guys are going to like that. It's the 2023 running back ranking video. It should be dropping tomorrow. Redraft half PPR, need to win the next 2 to get into the playoffs. Trade my Amari and Foreman for Mixon. I'd rather have Mixon by quite a bit. Team would be Keenan Allen, Amon-Ra, Ayuk, CMC, Mixon, P. Ryan. I would rather have Mixon by quite a bit. I just think there's more upside there. Definitely. Thoughts on Gus rest of season? It's a trap. That running back situation is a trap. Gus or Kyron? Probably neither. I suppose Gus over that. What about baby ETN? What about ETN? I'm playing Geo Let's see here. Smitty really called it with the 49ers running their players into the ground. It says Keenan, JT, Barkley, Walker, Pittman, DJ, Devontae, what to do before the deadline? I like your squad. Go get a Mike Evans using the wide receiver room that you got right there. I like Mike Evans a lot right now at his current, price tag. Oh, baby ET, I got you. Yeah. We're gonna break down all the rookie running backs, bro. Don't worry. I thought you were talking about when you said baby ETN. I thought you were talking about little T Higgins, and I thought there was something that we might have said about ETN that was similar to little baby T Higgins. Thoughts on Kelsey, Zeke, Watson for ETN, Hopkins, and Schultz. I would take ETN, Hopkins, and Schultz. I'd favor that side by quite a bit. That's a really good trade because Schultz is, Kelsey's better than Schultz for sure, but Zeke and Watson aren't close to Hopkins and ETN. Maybe some would disagree, but that's how I see it. That's a nice trade. That's a real nice trade. I like it. Thank you, P, for the super chat. Thank you, Cassio. Appreciate you. Thank you, Jarrett, for the super chat. Thank you, Richard. Appreciate you, Richard. In the playoffs, need to think about future, any playoff moves you think I should make. It's vague, bro. I mean, there's no way to really answer this question in a way that's going to help you. Like, I don't know what your situation is. Like, I mean, Henry's got a good playoff schedule. A lot of people love trading for Henry right now. Just being prepared at quarterback. Make sure you're not left empty-handed. That's why Mike White's a good pickup and grab. Make sure you got your cuffs. If you got Cook, you have to have Alexander Madison. There's all kinds of preparation moves you can make, but that's vague. It'd be hard to give you, accurate advice for you and your team, your specific team. Nathan, would you trade B-Rob for Ayuk? No, I don't. Ayuk's not in a good spot, man. He's gonna have good games and bad games, but I don't like Ayuk that much right now. There's too many mouths to feed. I got Eckler, Saquon already, Lamb. Yeah, I don't. I'd rather have B-Rob than I would rather have Ayuk. Mixon, Stevenson, Walker, Aaron Jones, sit one. I'd probably sit Aaron Jones, man. Let's see here. Green Bay's at home or away? They're away. Chicago. And I don't know. I'd probably sit Aaron. Man, that's a tough one. I'd probably sit Aaron Jones. I can't sit Stevenson. I can't sit Walker. But Mixon, I like Mixon this week. As long as he's back and everything looks good. But, you could. Aaron Jones is not bad, but yeah, I would probably rather have Mixon though. I just feel like he's safer. As I said, no, I don't like this, Nathan. Smitty, any thoughts about Knight for the Jets? Look, Zonovan Knight is. I get 14 carries if I remember correctly, and I think Ty got like 6 carries maybe, something like that. But Ty had good volume, good production, scored a touchdown, was the more exciting player. I think he got 1 reception. I think Zonovan Knight got 3, if I remember correctly. So it's confusing to know which players. You would think, okay, Ty's going to get the PPR work, and Zonovan Knight is going to get the bulk of the carries up the gut, but Zonovan got 3 catches and Ty got 1. I don't think we know what's going to go on with that situation, but I would say that if I had to pick up one, it'd be the guy that got 14 carries versus the guy that got 6 or something like that. So give me Zonovan Knight. He's got upside for sure. Ty's kind of been one of Mike White's guys, though. So it's kind of confusing, to be honest with you. I don't feel extremely comfortable making a call on that one because we don't know. Ty Johnson, he scored a touchdown, was the explosive one from that perspective. But I do know that Mike White loves him. But maybe Mike White loves Zonovan too now. It doesn't mean he can't love everybody. Mike White, is a facilitator, baby. Josh Allen, thank you. $20 super chat from. I don't know what the flicker is. I gotta restart, obviously, but it's acting kind of screwy. Josh Allen, Watson, wide receivers, Sun God, Chase, Olave, Burks. Running backs are Olave, Chase, Godwin, Burks. Running backs are Pollard, JT, ETN, Swift, Pacheco. Starting Allen for sure. Can you pick 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 flex? Absolutely. Let's go with Chase and Olave. That's easy. Let's go with ETN and I'm starting JT. I know matchup and all. I'm starting JT and ETN. And my flex is probably going to be Pollard. That's how I'd roll. Now, could this change as the week unfolds? Absolutely. For sure. But that's how I'd roll. Your device team right here. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you for your $20 hauler. Deet, you're the man. And trust your gut. I mean, if you feel like you don't like JT's matchup and you want to roll the dice with Pacheco or Swift, I could get behind it. But I wouldn't sit Chase or... Oh, wait a minute. Chase, I'm sorry. Let me back up. I missed a guy. Sun God, I think. So 2 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 quarterback, 1 flex. I'm sorry. I totally missed Sun God. Jamar Chase, Olave, and Sun God, JT and ETN, or Pollard and ETN. Pick your poison there. You either have to sit JT or you have to sit Pollard. I think you go, or you could sit Olave and go Pollard. But Sun God and Chase are locked in. JT and ETN for me are locked in. Josh Allen's locked in. And it comes down to Olave or Pollard for me. And I think we got to decide that one later on in the week. I don't think we can make that decision right now. But if I had to lock it in for now, I would say, give me Pollard for right now. Just for right now. But Olave might replace him. I think we need to address that later in the week when we get a good feel over Olave's Olave's situation. And also Tony Pollard's volume, which we may not have any clarity on. It just I don't know. It's tough to trust Pollard right now, even though we love the guy. He's a top 5 running back when they're using him. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I guess put Olave in for now, and then if we feel comfortable about Pollard, we'll put him in. So Sun God, Chase, Olave, ETN, JT, Josh Allen. Thank you for your super chat, my dude with the $20 hauler, Deet. The man, the myth, the legend. You are the man. This one, just get it done. Says flex Saquon JT Cooper. Saquon JT Cooper. I don't know how you pick between these. What are you in a 4-man league? Saquon JT Cooper. I'd probably go Saquon if I had to pick between those 3. That's a dilemma and a half, bro. Travis says missed the waiver show. Mason or Hasty, better cuff. I have ETN and CMC. I don't know. I guess Mason, but there's talk about Coleman, TDP. At least Hasty's the for sure handcuff, but I have a feeling no one's going to pick him up. Well, maybe they will. Some people still ask me every day, is ETN sitting? They're not even aware that he said he's okay and all that. So I don't know. Maybe Hasty will be grabbed. But he's the only one that's a for sure backup right now. I know people think Henderson will be or whatever, but I don't know. I'll probably go Mason and then probably grab both. Trade Keenan Allen, Mahomes for Kmet. Keenan Allen, Mahomes, and Kmet for Kelsey and Deshaun Watson. Wow. Wow. I don't know. Maybe you go Kelsey Watt. I don't know. That's a tough one. Does everybody bank on Watson maybe being, he's not going to be Mahomes, but maybe he scores big. Maybe he scores big. Maybe he scores like a 6 to 7 quarterback. He runs a lot. He's hungry. He could be very rusty. It could fall apart. It could be a disaster. Russell Wilson moving teams was a disaster. Maybe this is a disaster as well. Maybe all the moving quarterbacks, the rotating quarterback carousel from team to team is going to end up a disaster all the way around. Aaron Rodgers returning has been a disaster. Tom Brady returning has been a disaster. Is there any reason to think that Watson's not going to be a disaster? I don't know. I'm kind of excited about the Kelsey, and then what if Watson's close? I don't know. I kind of want to say, like, if you don't think you could win with Mahomes, if you're worried about your team with Mahomes, maybe you make this move and you say, you know what, rolling the dice time. But if like it's all working and you're like the lead dog, everybody thinks you could win it, don't change what is working and keep Mahomes. But if you need a change, man, if you need a spark, Kelsey and Watson might be interesting. Keenan Allen is K. Allen. That's tough. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about that trade. I'm keeping Mahomes as Bach. But who would give up Mahomes? Keenan Allen. I'd take Kelsey. Remember Joe McKnight? I do remember Joe McKnight. Okay. Sit Debo or Gabe Davis. Probably Gabe Davis. I'd probably start Debo over Gabe Davis, but I do still like Gabe Davis. I think everybody jumping off the Gabe Davis train, they'll regret it. It's going to be up and down with them sometimes, but yeah, I remember Joe McKnight. Mike White is the man with the plan. Appreciate all your super chats. It might be a short one tonight, guys. And when I say short, that's an hour and a half. That's not that short. But I'm pretty tired today. I'm going to be back tomorrow. So bear with me. Mike White, Mac Jones. I'm taking Mike White all day long. I'll see you all tomorrow. If we have any breaking news tomorrow, I'll be live. And of course, I'm working on that video, like I said, that might drop at some point tomorrow. It'll be the running back top like 5 to 8 running backs for 2023, and just breaking down who we're going to see in round one in terms of RBs in 2023. And I speak to them from a dynasty perspective as well. So look for that video. You're going to love that. 2023 running backs, dynasty and redraft. Sorry about today. I'm a little worn down tonight. I'm really like lethargic. I'm gonna take some NyQuil and just lay in bed and Netflix, because it's not even midnight and this is the first time I'll be doing this for a while. So I'm gonna lay in bed, Netflix, and rest up. I'm just slow moving tonight. I'm not even like I'm having to repeat myself. I'm definitely not myself tonight. But I'll be back tomorrow. Appreciate every single one of you. And I work for you. And don't worry, I'm fine. I'm just tired. I just need a good night's sleep. I need a good night's sleep. If I get a good night's sleep, I'll be so powered up tomorrow you won't even be able to tell. OEG, appreciate your super chat. Appreciate all your super chats. Everybody from Heating, from the OJ, James, Robert. Appreciate you, Robert. OGE, Jaime, Neil, Tyler, Rick. Just Get It Done, Chris, Adam, Cassio, P, just his name's P, letter P, Jarrett, Deet, appreciate you, Deet. Just Get It Done again, Jay and Riley. Appreciate you all. Gotta go rest up. I'll see you all tomorrow. Later.